Hey, everybody. Welcome to Keep It Spiritually Simple. I'm your host, Sandra McAllis. Today, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all of you who support this channel by hitting like, subscribe, share, and comment, no matter what platform you're on, whether it's on YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, iHeart Radio. We appreciate every single one of you. Well, today, again, it is my honor to have our guest, Kendall McIntosh. She's a functional medicine nutritionist located here in DC, but she can see you anywhere. And today she's about to tell you about some packaging she's got put together to offer all of you. And well, hello and welcome, Kendall.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. So, what have we got going on? What have you put together?
Well, thank you. So I'm going to share a slide in just a minute, but this program that I've put together is a 16-week program, and I think a lot of your viewers might be interested in it. And after working with so many different women, middle-aged women that have either, hit a roadblock with weight loss, have continuous fatigue, bloating, really just not getting the answers that they want from their doctors. They spend months to get into a doctor's appointment. They only spend 7 minutes with that doctor, and that doctor's never had any nutrition experience and really doesn't know too much about functional medicine, which is getting to the root cause of the issue. They're left with unanswered questions and just still feeling all of these symptoms, right? So hormones might be out of balance. A lot of women right now are hitting that pre-diabetes range and they've never had that issue before. Again, stalled weight loss. So I've put together a 16-week program that is extremely personalized, and it's really getting to the root cause of exactly what's going on. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over exactly what this program entails. Okay, so one of the best parts about functional medicine is that we get to do some very exciting lab work that traditional doctors, allopathic doctors, don't do. Okay, so your allopathic doctors, they know how to do typical blood work, and whatever their specialty is, they'll have certain labs and certain things that they do. But advanced functional lab testing really can run the gamut of a lot of different things, and it really helps us to get under the basic labs and the basic testing that your doctors do. So part of my program, and the beginning part of the program, once you come in and you're inside the program, the first thing we're going to do is 3 different labs. There is going to be an option to add an additional lab, which will be a personalized choice. But the 3 labs that we will be focusing on are a stool test, a gut zoomer test, a mycotoxins and environmental toxins test, which is a fascinating test. It's a urine test that really looks at all of our toxic load. Do we have mold exposure? What are our heavy metal levels look like? What do we have any microplastics in our system? So it's a really exciting test to see kind of what our toxic load is. And then the third test is a personalized genetics test. So it's a 3x4 genetics test. So with those 3 tests, I am able to look at an incredible amount of information and put together a customized plan. So with the stool test, we're going to know exactly what the health of your gut is. And after working with hundreds and hundreds of different women, really the root cause of so many different things is happening in our gut, and it's really telling me what the health of the gut is. And all of those environmental toxins that we're exposed to in our air, in our water, in our food, in our beauty products, in our home care system, our home care products, all of those things compound in our body. And with a simple urine test, we're able to look at a very wide range of different environmental toxins and mold. You may not think that you've had any kind of mold or spore-based bacteria exposure, but that can be an incredible trigger to brain fog, fatigue, and so many other different things. And then our genetics test, oh my gosh, you find out so much about your genetics. So what's so cool about the first 2 tests is they're giving us a snapshot of time, basically what's happening right now. Okay, so we're going to look at that stool test and see what the health is of the gut microbiome. We're going to look at a urine test that tells us about our toxins. And then we're going to look at your genetics, and we're going to see what you're predisposed to. Everything from your different pathways, detoxification, there's about 9 different pathways that we look at, to your fitness level. And then we look at different foods that you might be genetically predisposed to. You may have a genetic predisposition to a gluten intolerance. We find out, how long caffeine stays in your system. So many different things. And those don't move, like those don't change. So those are your forever numbers. So if we look at your stool test and your urine test, and we see that you may be, on your way to something, we're able to also look at your genetics test to say, oh my gosh, you might be predisposed to cardiovascular disease. So we're able to set up a customized program to make sure that we mitigate and we get ahead of some of the things that are that your genetics tell us. And I'll just give you an example. On my genetics test, I learned that I don't detox properly. So I am missing an enzyme that I never would have known. I'm missing an enzyme in my detox pathways. So it takes my body a lot longer to detox. So if I drink a cup of coffee, that caffeine is going to stay in my system a lot longer. If I drink an alcoholic beverage, that alcohol is going to stay in my system a lot longer than another person, because I'm missing that enzyme to detoxify. So I have to take supplements, and I have to be more mindful of making sure that my detox pathways are open and that I'm continuing to detox on a regular basis. So I wouldn't have known that had I not done my genetics test. And I learned a ton of other things. It's amazing what you can learn. So back to the program. So after the initial testing results, after the initial tests are submitted, then what we'd really do before we get all the test results back is we really focus on some of the basic lifestyle interventions. Okay, so we look at an anti-inflammatory diet right off the bat. We're going to look at what your movement is, and I really put together a very holistic plan before we get your results that are going to be completely customized. And another big part of this is a lot of women that I've worked with, they've tried every different diet. They've tried so many different things, and they come back to the same kind of wall and they stop. And a lot of times what that is related to is their relationship with food or unresolved trauma. So a big part of this program is digging deep, figuring out who you really are and what those roadblocks have been in the past, and working through some of those to change your relationship with food, to regulate your nervous system, and to really build a mind-body healing path forward. Okay, so all of those things are kind of put together, and then we get your test results back, and then it's really a customized plan. So the program includes the 3 testing, and then it will also include a customized supplement protocol. Okay, so I'm going to give you exactly what supplements are going to be missing based on your test results, and we start to really focus in on a healing protocol. Okay, and then as far as the nutrition goes, we really focus in on an anti-inflammatory meal plan. And I give you a ton of personally curated recipes, meal plans, shopping lists. You have everything set up for you. If you don't cook, if you're super busy and you're a working woman and entrepreneur or have a big career, I also give you a lot of different options for easier home delivery meals, and we figure out strategies that are going to work best with your schedule. And then another big part of this is based on the testing that we get back and what your kind of your overall plan looks like. We're going to do some deep detoxing. Okay, so every single time I've gotten a stool test back, that gut microbiome test back, there are some issues there. Okay, and so again, that's really going to be the root cause of a lot of the issues. So we're going to start to focus on really healing the gut, and there's different protocols that we'll look into as far as deep cleansing and deep detox to release some of the toxins that we find in the toxin report. But again, everything is very personalized. And also you get a very structured plan, but you also get one-on-one coaching with me. So you're not going to be handed a program and said, here you go figure it out on your own. I am with you every step of the way for 16 weeks. This is a total body transformation. You're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to learn so much about what your body needs. You're going to start to feel better once we start to put those pieces together and actually figure out what's been missing and what's been holding you back. And then there's also the mindset and the lifestyle interventions that we're going to be working with too. So it's very holistic. We're really looking at everything from your diet, your supplements, to your exercise and your movement and your sleep and your stress. We're looking at everything. So after 16 weeks, you are going to be a new woman. And there's going to be a lot of really, really great things put in place so you can move on to the next step. So do you have any questions for me, Sandy?
Well, it's interesting because I was thinking, who would be best suited for this program? But you know what? Everybody is, because it's custom designed individually for the person. So everybody is, and when you were talking about the, being exposed to mold and things like that, when you're refrigerating onions and ginger and so many things that are potatoes, things that do not belong in the refrigerator, they pull moisture to them, and mold is born and then spawn, and then you're eating it and you have no idea. It's not just in the air or in the corner of your house or damp in the bathroom or the basement. It's in your foods if you're improperly storing them. So I love the fact that, your testing can indicate, hey, you've been exposed and you have a certain percentage of this in your system, or more of a percentage. We need to work on that.
Yeah, for sure. So that you brought up a really good point, and I have a lot of meal prepping clients that work full time, and so they meal prep on the weekends or at the beginning of the week, midweek. And that meal prepping, just like you said, you wouldn't know, your food starts to decay as soon as it is, prepared and it is put away. Yes, there are certain windows of freshness for vegetables and fruits and meats and cheeses and dairy. But just like you said, if you're not packaging it properly, if you don't know what foods start to decay faster than others, then you are consuming those decayed foods that do start those spores and those the bacteria starting to form. So we will touch on parasites as well. We will touch on really deep cellular detoxification. All of this really is set up for longevity and vitality, right? So I think a lot of women are feeling like they want to make sure that they're going to be able to pick up their grandkids someday, right? And be able to bend down and not feel like aches and pains all over. And longevity is really kind of the big hot thing in the health and wellness industry right now, because everybody wants to live as long as possible and they want to kind of figure out what those biohacking things are. And this is really an incredible foundation of 16 weeks of finding out exactly what your body needs, and your body and my body, totally different, completely different. So it's completely personalized, and it's really fun. I mean, I don't think there's anything better than knowing exactly what is, what's best for you and what's best for your body. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. And, we always seem to go back to that stool sample, and, putting your own shiat underneath a microscope, gives you signature information about who you are and what's going on, and then how to move forward to have a little more cleaner microbiome and incorporate things where you're absorbing nutrients and ridding yourself of buildup and decay that prevent nutrients from having that absorption, later leading to poor cellular health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, here's a question. So what would someone expect? And then would there be a time period in which they would expect some results, or would that be based on, you know, the genetic testing and the toxins and everything else? But I would assume that it would be anybody who's starting this, no matter what degree of, dis-ease your body may currently be in, within a 90-day period, you're probably going to feel like a brand new person.
Yeah, everybody's going to be different. I will say that there's so much education in here, and one of the things that has been, lost, and we did a talk about this before. Really starting obviously with opening up drainage pathways to really start to detox and get some of these things out of our system. So there is a lot of education. We really kind of focus in on the liver first. Your liver is really your master detoxifier, and if your liver's not in good health, so we want to make sure the liver is functioning properly, and the liver, that drainage pathway is open. The colon, we're going to focus on making sure that the colon, so many women come to me constipated, and they just, it's part of their life, and they just think, I'm constipated, I don't go every day. Well, that's not okay. That's your number one, drainage pathway that needs to be open every single day, if not multiple times a day. So those are things that we focus on first, and those are basics. So we look at detoxing the colon, detoxing the liver, making sure our lymphatic system is moving, and also draining as well, making sure that we're urinating, and making sure that we're very well hydrated. All of these things are basics that people don't really pay attention to all the time. So yeah, so those are there's so much education as well. So you'll be learning what your body really needs, and using those specific points from the customized testing is it's just gold. It really is.
It sounds like it. And then, the liver is a direct correlation between the thyroid, and the thyroid is a major gland of the endocrine system. And so people don't always put that together. Now, I know we've talked about that in previous shows, and I just do want to say, hey, everybody, if you really want to know an intro to who Kendall is and her whys and how she got, on this path of nutrition, and on top of that, functional medicine nutrition, which is very different. There is an intro video previously posted on all of the platforms. So if you want to know more about her, you can go back to that. So Kendall, so would you say in 90 days we could see, like, you know, I mean, clearer skin, clearer eyes, feeling better, maybe maintaining some stable weight? Um, all those things seem to correlate because you're working with every system of the body within this program.
For sure, for sure. Definitely sometimes way before 90 days. I've had clients tell me that they felt even better within, a week to 10 days. Once you start to reduce that inflammation, and just by making a few tweaks in your diet, which again is anti-inflammatory foods, making sure that you're having regular bowel movements, making sure that you're well hydrated, all of those, and specific for your body. So what your body needs versus what my body needs are different. So understanding what your body needs, and being consistent with that, even over a week to 10 days, 2 weeks, you're going to start to feel better. So a matter of days to weeks, definitely before 90 days. So yeah, it's just it's really all about finding out exactly what your body needs.
And this is also a program that is really about lifestyle change, isn't it? It is not about, let's have these tests, and then now we're going to put you on 30 different supplements, and you're going to have this X and X meal plan, and you're going to purchase all this money, and then after 3 months, when the program's over, then what? You go back to where the way you were, or did you find some new habits in there somewhere? But most people have a tendency to go back. But if you're changing it weekly and having support with someone like you, every step of the way, you have more of a chance of incorporating daily changes and habits so that your tomorrows look brighter.
Absolutely. And I will just piggyback on that. I don't accept everybody into this program. So it is really important that if you are interested in working with me, that you're dedicated, that you are ready to put the excuses aside. You're going to be getting invaluable information about yourself. And I'm going to spend my time customizing a plan that is absolutely perfect for you. And if you're not 100% committed, then we're not going to be a good fit, because this isn't a quick fix diet. This isn't something, like you said, that you take and then, it's over. This is a total life transformation. This is for the women that are fed up. They've been, discouraged by the system. They've tried different things, and They want real results and they're ready to change their life, forever, right? And so there is, after my program, after this 16-week program, there is an additional program to continue to work with me to really achieve that longevity piece and to continue on their personalized path. But yeah, this isn't for everyone. This is you have to be dedicated and you have to be ready to commit to this and to make some real changes.
Yeah, I like the fact that you have a follow-up maintenance program because everybody, you know, kind of wants to go back and have that touchstone. Okay, I've met my 16 weeks. I think I'm gliding pretty well. Oops, I hit a glitch. I can reach back in and touch Kendall again, and then we can make some tweaks and changes that are necessary to go to the next level and to keep riding this wave until we've mastered a little bit more of how to control how our body works, how it functions, so we can see, sense, and feel optimally. Because that's the key. Who wants to keep? Most people feel like crap and they just think it's normal
Yeah.
until they start to feel better. And it's like,
Right.
again, going into that stool test, take a look at your crap, people. Take a look at it because that's my next step with Kendall. And then we're going to do a show on that too. So I'll share with you all my own hidden, what's.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to have your links in the description and people can call and have a consultation with you. And then set up, am I a candidate for this program? What does it entail? Because like you said, you want quality, committed, you know, participants,
Yep.
because you want to see quality results in people, because there are a lot of people that will just throw money at it and they're not going to be a good walking, living, breathing example of what it is that you're presenting for them.
Yeah. So, and just I wanted to circle back to one thing that you said. So, there's always going to be times where we fall off the horse. I
Of
always say
course.
fall off the horse,
Yep.
fall off the wagon. So, I'm very, very mindful of that. And I have plenty of clients that when we start a session, they say, "Up, I haven't done what I was supposed to do." And that's okay. Life gets in the way. And that's why I'm here to do that private coaching with you to help you get back up on the horse. So, yeah, exactly everything that you said. And I will provide a link for you and you can reach out via email is probably the best way through your YouTube page to
Mm-hmm.
contact me about more information of the program.
Absolutely. We will post it. Well, anyone out there that's got any questions, you're more than welcome also to post them in the comment section. Again, we appreciate every like, every subscribe, every share, because it does help the show's algorithms to get us out there so that we're seen more by other people. Now, if you feel like your life is just beautiful and you're doing all the right things and you feel like amazing, maybe there's someone that that might appreciate this program. So you could send this video over to them, let them have a look-see and a listen here, and then reach out to Kendall and see if it's a perfect fit. It's also a perfect fit for those who are maybe recuperating from something and it's just bogged down their systems. Um, Maybe there's somebody out there that just wants to stop a specific medication and start on a new way of life, and maybe knowing some foods that release more serotonin, dopamines, get your hormones in balance, and help guide you on those way. Kendall is your point person for that as well. Anything else you want to share, girlfriend?
I don't think so. I appreciate all this opportunity to
Oh
share.
my goodness, my pleasure, my pleasure. We get a lot of people out here worrying about the weather every single day. Everyone's like, it's raining. I can't wait for the sun to come out. Oh, the sun's coming out. Now it's too hot. It's a heat wave. I can't go anywhere. Is it sweater weather? What is it? What's going on? I had a lady recently tell me, oh, I don't do color on my fingernails because I just never know if the color is really going to match with the color of my skin or if it's going to drive me crazy after a couple of weeks. And I'm just sitting here listening to this real serious nervous system dysfunction. And then I looked at her and I said, take a deep breath
Mm.
and just know there's bigger things to worry about. She's like,
Such a good
oh,
point.
okay. So if you're going to put all that effort into nail polish and what the weather's doing, what your neighbor's doing, and what you have on, why don't you take a deeper look inwardly and see if you can start from there? because the outward is going to be the biggest reflection of what your liveliness, your liver, your liver, your life is truly saying to the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made a really good point, and we can finish with this. And there are so many people, especially women around us in this area, that spend tens of thousands of dollars on their outer appearance, but they're not taking care of their insides. And where is the money on the outside going? Just for that outer appearance, but that's not going to lead you a longer life. It might make you look better on the outside, but if you're not taking care of the inside and you know exactly what your insides need, your lifespan is going to be a lot shorter. So take that
Absolutely.
money that you're spending injecting and slicing and sculpting and all of that, and spend some money on what really matters, and that's your internal health.
Or the outfit you may wear once a year.
Yeah.
Come
Exactly.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get real here,
True.
because that's what Keep It Spiritually Simple is all about. It's real raw. It's talking openly. It's no holding back on what all the games that we like to play on ourselves
Right.
and justify it. So get in there and get some whole foods, get some medical grade nutrition support. Get with a professional who can assist you. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of looking the same way every summer that comes around, do something to look better this fall, this winter, next spring, and next summer by starting with this program. So, Kendall McIntosh, girlfriend, it is always a pleasure.
Thanks.
And again, everybody, her links will be in the description. Again, the like, subscribe, shares, comments. We really do appreciate them. And now we will say so long.
Bye. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.